Alright, this video is for Discovering Pre-Algebra Part 1, and this is Worksheet 2-2. Alright, if you're in this class, I'm about ready to throw up the answers, so just wait. And if you're not in this class, if you want to be in this class, just look in the description below. Alright, so let's put up the answers to these questions so you can grade your work. So go ahead and pause and grade your worksheet right now. Alright, and if you have any that are incorrect, you can pause and try to figure out what's wrong with it before watching the video on how to do it. We want mastery, okay? You don't have to get it right the first time, but we want to make sure that we can get every single one right going forward. Okay, so let me switch my view so we're zoomed in. Alright, so in this first one, remember we were learning about multiplying and dividing by factors of 10. Okay, this has 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So actually this answer is wrong. I must have got cross-eyed and forgot one of the zeros when I was doing it, because I have to move the decimal 1, 2, 3, 4 places. So there's actually a 0 at the end of this answer. Remember we spent a long time making our factors of 10 calculators, okay? And that was actually a worksheet in here. It's at the end because a lot of times I do it at class. See? The decimal worksheet. And you were supposed to discover that pattern. So you should have already done that, either in class or as homework. But there are 4 zeros in this number, so I got to move that decimal 4 places, which means putting a 0 at the end. I got cross-eyed and only saw 3 of the zeros apparently. It happens as long as you understand what you're doing. Alright, so for this one I need to line up. It should probably be in a different color. Alright, I should fill in some zeros. It'll make my life easier. I'm subtracting, so I'm going to borrow from here, 1. Then I'm going to borrow from here. Give 10 to that one. 8 from 10 is 2. 7 from 9 is 2. 7 can't go from 1, so I'm going to borrow 1 here. Give 10 to this one, making it 11, because there's already 1 in that spot. And that will give me 4. Drop down my decimal. Alright, 3 from 6 is 3. 4 from 7 is 3. Alright, so the first number goes inside, and the second number goes outside. But first I got to multiply it by something. If you multiplied it by any factor greater than 10, then you're good. So 10, 100, 1,000, any of those. I'm going to do it by 10. I'll do different ones by different things. You're going to get the same answer as me, even if you did a different number, okay? As long as it's greater than 10. 56 cannot go into 20, so I'm just going to put a 0 here as a placeholder. 56 can go into 207. I'm going to guess that is 3 times. Alright, so let's do our math. 15, 16. Alright, cannot take 8 from 7. Can't borrow from 0. So I'm going to have to go a whole way down the line to get this 9. Alright, drop down my 2. I am going to guess that this can go in 7 times, and I'm going to actually do that over here before I start writing it on my paper. Yes, exactly. So if you had multiplied by 100 first, you should have gotten the same answer. If not, you've done something wrong. If you need me to do the problem again, multiplying by 100 or 1,000 first, let me know and I can make you a personal video, but I'm going to change it up each one if you can't see where the error is. Okay, so now I'm multiplying these. Don't really care about their place, lining up their place values, but these automatically line up. All right, the next thing is let's count how many places should be in my answer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I should have 6 decimal places in my answer. This one's going to be long. Let's start with that 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 1 is 7. 7 times 8 is 56. 7 times 6 is 42. 47 if I add on that 5. Get underneath the 9. So I can put a 0 in this one. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 1 is 9. 9 times 8 is 72. 9 times 6 is 54. Plus 7 more is 61. Alright, so now I'm going to line up behind the second 9. And it's going to be the same exact digits, just over. Alright, and this last one is the 4, so I'm actually going to line up underneath this 4. It's the 4th digit in. So 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 1 is 4, 4 times 8 is 32, right? 36, sorry. I think I was right the first time. But now I've gone and messed my thinking up. 32. Yeah, it was. 32. 24 plus 3 more is 27. Now add going down. All right, and our answer comes out all of these digits. And for the sake of, oh, I gotta put my 6 decimal place value in. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And for the sake of room, I actually rounded this, but the question didn't say to round. So either answer is 100% correct. All right, so the first one goes inside, but first thing I'm going to do is multiply this by 100 in order to get the bottom number to 1. Okay, so when I do that, both top and bottom, remember this bar means division, so it's the same thing as, and I'm going to move my decimal place, same thing as this. The only thing divided by 1 is the other number. So I don't even have to do this one. It's already done, okay, because anything divided by 1 is the other number. And eventually we're going to get very used to this bar as division. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and fill in my zeros. 0 from 1 is 1, 0 from 0 is 0, borrow 1, that's going to be a 5, 1. Oh, I can't take 7 from 6. So I'm going to borrow 1 over here. 16. 7 from 16 is 9. Dropped out my 1. All right, we're getting close to the end. There's 15 in this one. This was a big set. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times 2 is 18 plus 2 more is 20. 9 times 4 is 36, plus 2 more is 38. I have 2 decimal places in this one. All right, now I'm adding. Probably make things easier if I fill in my zeros, even though we're adding. So I'm going to put a 0 here. That column's going to add up to a 2, a 10, an 11. And notice I just dropped down that decimal point. That's all I have to do in these. I'm going to fill in my 0. And I'm going to subtract these. 0 from 8 is 8. 3 from 6 is 3. It's going to be a 5. And the last one is 6. 3 from 9 is 6. No borrowing in that one. That one was pretty straightforward. Not too bad. Alright, I'm going to divide this one. I only have to divide this, multiply this one by 10 first. But let's try something a little bit different. I want to multiply it by 100. Remember, it doesn't matter. I can even multiply this as 1,000. Okay, as long as there's a minimum. Okay, it has to be at least multiplied by 10 to move this decimal one place. I'm going to go ahead and change that and multiply it by 1,000. Because what that's going to do is get rid of all of my decimals. And I'm going to show you why it doesn't matter if you get rid of all the decimals. Look, I'm going to have to put a decimal in because 650 can't go into 468 evenly. So eventually I'm going to have to put a decimal in anyway. It's just more of a matter of how it looks to your brain and how comfortable you feel with that, okay? Alright, so let's make a guess. I'm going to guess that this goes in 4, 5, 6, maybe 7 times. Let's see. 42, 45. Yep, I'm going to say 7 is the magic number. Alright, I'm to the right of the decimal, so I can add a 0. I'm going to try 2 this time, and that's exact. And I'm done. It wasn't too bad, huh? So, we have a discrepancy here. Let me put it in my calculator. When I did this, sometimes I accidentally transpose numbers, so okay, so let's look here. I moved that one oh, I forgot to move this one 1,000. So 1, 2, 3. There should have been another 0, which means I would have had to add 2 zeros, so it would have been 0.072. Gotta move them both the same amount. I was not thinking. Should have added another 0 to this number, which would have meant I would have had to add 2 zeros to the number after the decimal before I could have divided. Alright, in this one, let's go ahead and do it just by 10, because that's all I need for this one, and as you can see, it's confusing when you start messing with it. Alright, so let's set up our problem, put our decimal point in. 16 can't go into 6, so I'm going to put that 0 there. Can go into 61, and I'm going to guess that's 3 times. Let's see what 4 times looks like. Just slightly too high. Okay, so now I dropped down my 4. I'm going to say, let's say 6. Let's see what 6 looks like. Let's try 7. Let's try 8 real quick. Alright, so 6 times the 8 is going to be, hold on, I got distracted. 6 times 8 is going to be 48. And we're just trying. There's nothing wrong with just trying different numbers, okay? So this one will be 8 plus 4 more should give me the 12. And I'm going to say that's probably the highest. Drop down the 4, and we have 64, which we know from our little 16 calculator we made over here is 4 times. There you go. So we're down to 4 more. Let's go ahead and do the next one. I'm going to flip-flop it because I like that longer number on the top. I should have 1, 2, 3, 4 decimal places in my answer. Start with this. I'm going a little faster because this video is getting long now, and by now you should have a good idea of how to do these problems. Alright, and we said 4, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 11.9988. Alright, this one's addition. So we should be able to breeze through it. Addition's not too bad. We're just adding down my columns. Carry. Alright. Same thing with this one. I'm going to add some place values in. I'm going to add a 0.0. Doesn't change anything. Just makes my adding a little bit easier. Always bring down your decimal and adding and subtracting. And there's the answer to that one. Alright, so we're dividing. I'm going to do it by 100 so that I can get this one out, which will make it now this problem. Alright, let's try 5. I'm just curious if 5 will work. We can always test it out first, which is exactly what I'm going to do. So 5, 6, 95. Yeah, most definitely will fit. Alright, so that is going to give me a 5. Cannot take 6 from 4. Going to borrow. Now if I do that, that's 8. That's 2. Can add a decimal and a 0. Okay. And this one, as you can see, goes on 4 decimal places. So 3 is the next one. That's going to give me 6, 3, 27. Borrow from that one. Going to add another 0. Oh, that should be 1. Sorry. Okay, so now we can add another 0, drop it down. This one will be a 2. I'm going to start putting my numbers up here because I'm running out of room. Add another 0. That's going to be 5. We already know that 5 is 4, 5, 6, 0, which will make us break even. Alright, so that's this worksheet. Keep doing it till you feel you've mastered it, and then I'll see you in class and we can watch the next video.